ISIS is on the verge of taking complete control of a key Iraqi city.
The terror group has raised its flag over a government compound in the city of Ramadi today.
Let's get right to Liz Palmer, who is tracking the situation from London. Liz, what are you hearing?
Well, with the aid of some suicide bombings, a couple yesterday, 3 more today, ISIS has managed to push right into the center of this very strategic town called Ramadi. You'll have to forgive us. That's our test fire alarm here on a Friday afternoon. Anyway, so ISIS has managed to get right down into the center of this town, which is at a crucial road junction, and they've taken over the government offices and hoisted their black flag over what used to be the center of the local government. Obviously, a real blow to morale, to the Iraqi troops who were forced to withdraw. Highly symbolic, but it doesn't mean that they have conquered a great swathe of territory. That area where Ramadi is a patchwork of fighting units, ISIS units, other rebel groups, and Iraqi troops. The Iraqi troops may have withdrawn, but they haven't withdrawn far, just to the north side of the highway. And we know that the Iraqi government is going to pour a lot of resources into defending the area in general because it's very close to an extremely strategic air base. So this is a symbolic victory for ISIS, and it doesn't look good for the Iraqi army. One more defeat for them, which they can ill afford because morale is already terrible. But in terms of new territory controlled by ISIS, it doesn't mean a great deal.
So Liz, you're saying it's more symbolic in terms of the defeat, even though we just saw the Iraqi army retake control of Tikrit just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think you have to look at the area of Anbar province, that whole area west of Baghdad, which was such a lethal area for the U.S. Army, is now a lethal area for the Iraqi Army. But it's a whole series of shifting control. So somebody will take, a few miles to the east and then a few miles to the west, and then they'll hand over some territory, retreat, advance. It's a mess, and it's a dangerous, violent mess. Today's flag over Ramadi is going to make it into all those ISIS propaganda videos, you know that. But it doesn't necessarily spell, for example, a fatal blow to the Iraqi government position.
Liz, I know you spent a lot of time on the ground in that region. You described that area as a patchwork of fighters. What else can you tell us about that area?
It's largely farmland, quite rich farmland, and it's also the kind of the heartland of the Sunni tribal leaders. They're the minority in Iraq now. Some of them have allied with ISIS. Some of them have retained their independence, but it's always going to be the center of kind of Sunni nationalism, and only a political settlement is going to bring peace to that area. While the Sunni tribes people still feel excluded from Iraqi politics, they are going to ally with ISIS. It is a place where ISIS will be able to keep a toehold, and maybe more than that. And when we see a political settlement in Iraq, it's probably the last area that is going to come under the control, happily and peacefully, of Baghdad.
Elizabeth Palmer in London, thank you very much.